Well, you join us in this, the first over of this game between Pembroke Seconds and Rush. Division 2 game, I suspect. A very abbreviated service we have here today. The rain of yesterday was torrential, I think it would be fair to say. However, we're back today, the sun shining, the wind blowing, and although we're safely underneath the gazebo today, we're very hopeful that there won't be too much rain, although, as you can hear from the ground microphones, there is a bit of a breeze around. Right. Now, I'd love to be able to give you names to go with the numbers on the Rush shirts, but unfortunately, that's not the way it is at the moment. First wide of the night, first run on the board, second run on the board. Appears from the encouragement in the field that the fielder's name, the bowler's name is Rebecca. And we might just turn the ground mics down a tad. Not out is the call from the umpire. Junior nets are on tonight. If you do hear a bit of thudding and that in the background, that's what it is. But at the moment, we're here enjoying this Division 2 clash. Swing outside the off stump, goes through to the keeper. Last night the women's twos were meant to be playing against Malahide, and on that occasion it was Zoe Bell and Isabel Jennings opening the innings. So far tonight, I can't tell you who it is. Well, single pushed out into the offside. Nice gentle start. Oh, good ball swinging away from the attempted drive. I can hear what you're saying from about that gap down. Just to let you know. Well, that one pushed out to the boundary rider. It will just be a single again. Another run onto the total. It's a shame Rush haven't provided us with a list of the team and the numbers associated with them. It seems a shame considering that they've gone to the trouble of putting numbers on. Slight misfield there, just crashing off the ankle of number 8. and that allows Pembroke to take 2 runs after a bit of negotiation. Two overs gone then.
2 runs. The target's 50 off 36 balls.
Score on the scoreboard still showing 1. I suspect it's a bit better than that.
By the way, you're 7 down. 2. 2.
Well taken by the keeper. There was an appeal. One felt the appeal was more for LBW than caught behind. Either way, the umpire keeping her finger down. And it's a dot ball. A lot of activity in Dublin 4 today.
Single, leg fight.
Local Guardie. Well, they're in action somewhere.
7 off. So far, 7 4, sorry. 7 off 5, sorry. Yeah.
Another dot ball. And this is a very tight, promising start from Rush. Pembroke will be pleased no wickets have fallen at this stage, but runs aren't exactly flowing either at this early stage. Played away on the offside. There's nobody sweeping out there, so if you can pierce the inner field, there's a good chance of a boundary. Not yet. I mean, I can check and see if it's up on Cricket Leinster, but no live scoring on our screen for our paying customers.
Single. 11 scored. 9.
Attempted sweep. Doesn't come off on this occasion. Munster 4th and Clontarf 5ths are playing in Rathmines. Clontarf women's 3rds are entertaining Railway.
Single.
Phoenix are at home to Balbriggan and Pembroke are home to Rush. And there's no live scoring, but at least I have a list of names now. Played away on the offside. That's nicely stopped. Can't stop them getting through to the single, but not to be a worry. It was a fine stop, saving 3 runs.
White ball. 13.
Just opening the face and playing it out. Number 43 on the boundary.
Single.
3 O'Donoghues turning out for Rush today.
14.
Mabel, Rebecca and Megan. I think I'm going to buy Niall a very long hoodie, Amanda. You know those long ones you can get. This one beats everybody. Batsman, wicketkeeper. Two runs taken, 2 byes. Umpire signals them as such. And what a lovely evening it is. Far more pleasant than last night's torrential downpour. in the air a bit. Goes behind point on the offside. Third comes round. But they can't prevent the two. Good evening, Simon. Give us a wave.
I'll tell you a second. Keep running. One more ball in. Maybe a stand.
Well, the scoreboard is not being kept up to date at the moment.
That's two.
And there's no live scoring, so I actually have very little information about what's happening in the middle. Play-by-play is about as far as we're getting. If I was to guess, I'd say after 3 overs, Pembroke are on, let's say, 8. But they haven't lost any wickets. Plenty of time for everything to come together. Or full-length ball. Looking to turn it into a full toss and hoik it round to square leg. However, came off the back of the bat. Shot was played too early. What luck did you have there? Black screen. Oh, that's a lovely shot. But it just trickles out in the offside. It's fielded for a dot ball.
25 of 18. Dot ball.
And there we go. Our technical director has done his work. Oh my goodness, that one came off the pads and it could have gone. Attempted throw down to the far end.
I was wondering what the hell happened last night.
26.
The end was just one.
Okay, well that's not too bad.
4 of 10.
Was buried to the head.
Played away on the offside, well fielded again, dot ball.
Sorry, not 18, sorry. 15, 25 or 50. That's me, sorry. 15.
Oh, this has come off the leading edge, it's gone straight back up in the air. The bowler herself takes the catch, and the first wicket falls with the score on, I don't know. The departing batsman is, I don't know. And the incoming batsman coming in at number 3 for Pembroke is, guess what? I don't know. No live scoring, no team sheets.
Is there no live scoring?
Well, I will hit live again. I will look again, but certainly all that I could find was the team sheets. But without numbers or a batting order, I have no idea. Yeah, no live scoring. Oh! Dougal just fell over. That's why I put a keg behind him. He's the only person who stands up better with a keg.
There are 9 balls to come, you need 18. 9, you've got to catch up. As few as you can. Dot ball.
So 1 wicket down, 4th over.
Get out.
It's still on. Okay.
I can't do a scoreboard, can't raise these conditions. What I've done.
Yep. Tried to turn that into a full toss, had a swing at it, but with no foot movement. Should have just taken half a step forward. That's the end of that over. Successful over for Rush. The first wicket has fallen. And the score is... I don't know. I didn't bring my notepad down today. I mean, I feel quite lost without the other monitor.
sure you understand why.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is another evolution. What do we do when we think it's going to be torrential rain? We do this, which is turn the gazebo into a Wendy house and don't unpack anything but put wires into boxes. Of course, a number of you will have stayed up until 1 o'clock this morning watching the Irish women in St. Lucia playing the West Indies. What a game that turned out to be. T20. Ireland lost their big names early on. Gabby Lewis and Orla Prendergast. Rebecca Stokel. Nice sweep round the corner, but there is a fielder set for that exact shot. So, yes, 117 for 4. Ireland amassed. The West Indies did chase it down, but they did it for the loss of 8 wickets, and they did it off the last ball. This women's team improving every day. If you ever want to see what the difference professional contracts makes, that's it. Well, there's a big swing of the bat there, no connection. Ah, the scoreboard seems to have reached something reasonable. After 5 overs, the score is 15. There is 1 wicket down, despite the scoreboard not showing that. But we still no idea who's batting. You can wait at the end of the over, zoom in on the girls' faces, and we'll see if we can work out who it is batting. That's a nice shot. It's gone right behind square leg on the leg side. Well, on the leg side, behind square leg. And it's run away for 4. A welcome boundary for Pembroke, and I do believe that's the first one of the innings. Well, no, I can't work that out at all. That could be Leslie Ring at this end. Yeah. And that's why we normally have it a lot higher. But at least we'll remember to lower it down again when the rain does appear. Well, any move in the gazebo can wait a while. That's a nice shot back over the bowler's head, and it's beaten the fielder. She's chasing it down, and she will get there before it reaches the rope. There's a couple of runs. And 1 short, the signal from the umpire. Another nice shot, but straight at the fielder. You do realise that by hiring the gazebo, all you've done is giving yourself a chance to really get some good speed going before you crash into it. Another gazebo move and a second, one feels. Full toss or full length, shall we say, down the leg side.
Hey,
Come on then. This one signalled as a no ball. Sounds good out there, Gordon. Sounds good. It's great to see what Gordon Clark has done with the junior nets this year. He's taken it by the throat, giving it a good shake. And there's a bit of discipline and a bit of training and a bit of directional coaching. Taking nets in a direction that hasn't been seen, I would say, in 30 years anyway. We might just have to buy, Mando, we might just have to buy Gordon a whistle for the awards night. Whistle! Oi! Whistle! My best Roy Kent impression. Well, that's the end of the 6 over. We'll see what happens to the scoreboard, if anything. That's an over old. And you're not on it at the moment. It's not right, that's for sure.
Mia?
Oh, now you're just getting brave. I just wrapped it round a couple of times, it was enough. I just wanted it to be conveniently handy. Should the rains come a-tumbling down. Well, that's another good ball. What's that to cover the camera? It's big enough, is it? Yeah, you can't really read it. It's quite artistic. It's the sort of scoreboard a French TV company would show. This one played away, totally turning the batsman around. She plays it down the 45, and it's enough for a single. That breeze just takes away the enjoyment of the heat. Swing at one outside the off stick this time, no connection. Yeah, after the weather of the last couple of days, you almost don't mind it being breezy, as long as it doesn't bring the rain with it, and it doesn't look to have done so far. That one's played nicely through to square leg, just be a single. 2 fielders out on the boundary down there. That's a fine shot, bit of power in that one. That's going to beat both the fielders stationed out on that side. 4 more runs for the total, well needed for the Pembroke score. I have to say, if I'd known there wasn't going to be live scoring, then I would have started catching. Well, the club's going to have to splash out on a new scoreboard controller. Well, we've been waiting years for one, and I think this one has actually given up the ghost now. Evening. Yeah, they can't get the live scoring going, and the scoreboard's not working. So I'm commentating on a game where I don't know who the batsmen are. I don't know what the score is. Yeah, let's go on the. It's here if you want to look. If you stand behind me, you can. Oh, dead ball. Yes, technical difficulties with the scorers this evening. It means that we have neither live score nor. Well bowled, she's bringing that one back across the bat. It's a late call, but they get through for the bye. Rush sporting new gear this evening. I saw a post on Twitter today, I think. Should have been working, but had a little look at Twitter. New sponsor, new jerseys. And as I say, I'm delighted to see that Rush have put numbers on the back of their shirts. Even nice if I knew who was what number. But I'm starting to be a believer, especially having sat in this seat now for a few years. That's out. Well, the swing was across the line and it was the wrong line. Went down the green line, should have been on the red line. Well, that's 2 wickets down. That's the one part of the scoreboard I can tell you. There we go. You should sit down. So you have all the names, and we know all the numbers. Right. Go on then. Jane Butterley is number... seven. Aoife Beggs. 43. I think it's 43. It looks too big to be. Well, I suppose it was a bit. Okay, Georgina Atkinson. This one, it's number 10, and Quiver Bissett. Probably going too far across her and possibly going down leg. Rachel Bob. Okay, we'll come back to her at the end of the over. Eileen Foley. That means Leona Harford. Who's bowling at the moment? Mabel. Right, stick her in so we can see her number. Have 15. Have 43. Oh, that's a big shot. That's the biggest shot of the night so far. Well, one bouncing into the fence. That's a super shot. Pippa Guy. End of the over. And the scoreboard is saying 38 for 2 after 8. And who am I to doubt it? Number 47 we've done, 43 we've done, 10 we've done, 12 we've done. 3 was the wicket keeper. Yep, all we're missing now is Leona Harford, Megan and Neve. And I suspect they're those 3 there. Well, that's a big help, thank you very much. Nice shot, lifted into the leg side. Mabel O'Donoghue does the fielding out there. Gets it back in from a short of cow corner. Georgina Atkinson continuing from the SMC end. Thank you very much. Who's batting at the moment? Oh look, they've sent it down.
Oh, there you go.
Somebody up there's listening. You had one that they didn't have. They were missing that one. Rachel Bolton is 16. Mabel is 12. Megan is number 8. And Neve is 17. That will make it a lot easier. Thank you very much. And next. I think, yeah, we like the building because they've given us a box now to keep stuff in behind us. And I like the view here is more of the clubhouse and the crowd rather than down towards the nets and an empty field. Another over gone. What was it, water polo? It was incredible. It was typhoonish. Well, Jack's Pond. When we had torrential rain, but that was like 20 minutes of it, and that corner of the ground all filled up, and Jack Balburney got into his shorts and started jumping and diving in it. It was deep enough. Aoife Beggs now bowling from the St John's end. I'm going to keep calling that end the SMC end until he buys me a pint. It's in the air, it's straight over the bowler's head though, it's going to land safely, they're going to come through for the single. So there's a lot of shouting about just a single. Few people making their way down to Pembroke tonight. As I said before, junior nets is on. There's also tag rugby. Great to see the ground so busy during the summer. This one gets past the edge, goes through to the keeper. Very little footwork. It's only going that way. Nice straight bat, plays that one square on the offside. They'll pick up 2 for that. Nice big throw. Certainly bigger than my throw these days. Have to admit, I've now... Oh, sorry, Noel, just before you go anywhere, can you get a shot of the next guy bowling, please? New prospect for the club. And he's still got it. He's still got it, ladies and gentlemen. The pace may have dropped a mile or 2. Donald Chrisman back at nets. My goodness, I mean, that's amazing when you think about it. I mean, next we'll have Brian Bannigan down here. Poffy will be coming down on his motorbike and looping out with his pads on.
Last 6 guys on the gun.
Well, 9 overs gone now. 44 on the board, loss of 2 wickets, but Pippa Guy, she's moved on to 7 quite quickly. Of course, the big news in Irish cricket this week, the resignation of Andrew Balbirnie as captain of the white ball Ireland men's team. Paul Sterling's been installed as interim captain, as that's a glorious shot through the covers. It will be picked up inside the fence. Georgina Atkins, Aoife Beggs doing the fielding out there, just down by the bar. So the question that I've heard most today, apart from who are you, is who will be the long-term captain? Like, who will take us into the next 4-year cycle of World Cup? Nathan Johns wrote a very interesting little article that posed that very question and came up with interesting solutions. A short list of 3. Four. A short list of 4. And I felt, and of the 4, I felt he picked well. So I take it you were not asking for a timeout, but you're saying Harry Tector. Well, oh, big shot from Pippa Guy, out towards mid-wicket. Yeah, beautifully fielded there. Rachel Bolton doing great work out on the boundary for Rush there. Saved a couple of runs. Right. So with T, are you going with Tector or Tucker? Okay. Well, let's take these one at a time, as Nathan Johns did. No ball. Lorcan, possibility, but he's got enough to do keeping wicket and being in the number 3 in the T20 side in the middle order for the ODI side. So why would you want to add to his load? However, that having been said, fine reader of the game, as we know. Harry Tector. Well, Nathan Johns seemed to be of the view that maybe he'd be better off taking over after 27. Whoever is appointed captain. Does it... Oh, another wicket. Super wicket. Just wicket to wicket bowling. If they miss, you hit. And that's the 3rd wicket to go down. So with Harry, it was considered that maybe he might be actually a little young for it. And also, why would you want to burden your absolute star batsman with captaincy? Anyone else? Obviously, Paul Sterling. Does he want to go 4 more years? Or does he want to go and do some franchise cricket? I think, again, credit to Nathan Johns. Evening. How are we? He may have read it quite well, which is, you know, Sterling obviously chose to play for Ireland because it put him on the biggest stage of all in World Cups, rather than staying with Middlesex. But we haven't qualified since 2015. So, but can he do that if he's captain? Can he be opting out of games? And then the fourth choice, which is the sort of, really? And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, why not? It makes sense. He's the right age. He's an integral part of the side. He bats, he bowls. He's got experience. He's captained before. And that's George Dockrell. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Round square leg, and the fielder has misjudged it. It's gone under her hands, and unfortunately for her, has run away to the boundary. It's another 4. Pembroke move on to 54. Three wickets down now. So there you go. There was a bit of a discussion going on. I think it's a fine shout. And you know, they might go back to, especially in the T20s, Balbirnie-Sterling opening partnership. Fielder perfectly placed for that shot, just running off the face of Pippa Guy's bat, down to square leg. Fielder making sure she got everything behind it, kept it to a single. Oh, is that a comment, is it? Where are you seeing that? In there. Well, Mr. Mooney, you could always be live scoring from Rome. Well, if he could get onto the internet, surely he could. Oh, that one just missing the off stump. This is super piece of bowling, this, by Eva Beggs. Okay. That's a lovely shot to the boundary, and that one crashes through to the fence, evading the fielder's attempt. 4 more onto the board. Yep, well, that's Pippa Guy's game. I like the idea that you're taking him for a walk. Dot ball ends the over. That's 12 gone now. Score on 61. Pippa Guy has moved on to 14, and her partner is on 5. Give me a quick look at the scoreboard. A la Francais, no? Well, that does everything you need. Who's part there? Hyundai. Well, I know it's a busy night tonight in the car park, but that end space, you're going to get cricket bags all down the side. Good night, Roy. Roy leaving the ground. For those of you who don't know, Roy tends all the flowers and the flower beds and such like. There's an immense amount of work here. Now, Pippa facing. Pippa hitting through the line of the ball. It's running out down to the Willfield Road gate, and it keeps on running. The only thing that's going to stop that is a ticking inspector at the dart station. Oh. See, this is where I take a keg. Put them up here. This one outside the off stump. And Pippa this time just plays it with timing rather than power, and it runs away through to long on boundary. 4 more runs. Takes her on to 23 and takes Pembroke into the 70s. And what a decade that was. Well, the table will deal with the netting side of things. Oh, I'd go the other side. Oh, another one taken on the full, pumped out to the leg side. The field a slight misfield, but it's still only a single. Ah, tying it to the keg. Over up. Perhaps that's 12 overs gone now. Well, the 2 bats in the middle, who I believe to be Anna Beale with Pippa. Tied it to the keg. Wide ball down the offside. Every little helps, as Pembroke say. And after 14 overs, my goodness, they're rattling by. 72 for 3. Pippa, she's on 24. Make that. Oh, fine piece of fielding on the fence. There, that's the reason why you get your body behind it. Oh, I'd say there might be a little bruise there in the morning. But 3 runs saved. It is Anna Beale, left-handed, very distinctive style. Sweeps to great effect and does so again. One of the things the commentators in the St Lucia game last night were talking about was how adept the Irish are at sweeping. And Anna Beale, another fine example of that. Ball swinging into Pippa. She pulls it round to mid-wicket, where it's parried. Single taken. I'll be back in just a moment. Played away in the air. Short third. End of the over. 15 gone. Score now 78. Well, Pembroke are going to want to push on now. 5 overs to go, 30 balls, 30 more runs will take them up to 108. They'll be looking for 120, one would have thought, to run a ball. Yeah, a little bit. I'd go and put a coat on, but it's Amanda's, and she'd see that I was wearing it. Yes, that breeze is definitely taking the temperature down a degree or two. Yes, it's affecting your viewing pleasure somewhat. We hope not too much. Late change, going round the wicket. Anna Bill doesn't ask for the sight screen to be moved, which is a good job because it's on pitch 6. Played away, beautifully, soft hands. Pippa Guy was alert to the situation, and they take a single. Yes, when the sun is covered up and the wind is howling through, in fact, what we should do is move the sight screen over here, put it beside us as protection, or at least put up a wall. Yeah. The walls of Jericho. Good high delivery. Catches her on the full. There's an appeal from deep mid-wicket and Kale corner, which brings a wry smile to the umpire's face. Here's the guy now. Oh, that's a good delivery. It turned away from the bat. Dot ball, and how vital they are when you get down to this stage, into those last 5 overs. Wait until tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow, then you'll be wrecked. Another one that moves away from the bat. They call a single. This could be risky. She's safely home, though. Another one onto the board for Pippa Guy. That'll take her to 28 and score up to 81. Yeah, definitely. It all goes out. It's slightly different doing it here. All right, Charlie? Yeah, not bad, not bad. This one, the wrong one. It's lifted in the air, but it goes between the 2 fielders. It's running away towards the boundary. Keep on running. 4 more. Lovely shot. Pippa Guy moves on to 32. Centurion Rafe Duncan there, using the middle of his bat once again. Taking his turn in the nets, not resting on his laurels. Bit of strength to those shots. But back to our game. No run there. That's a good call from Anna Bill. Very sensible. Even though it got away from the keeper. If it'd been the last ball, one suspects they would have gone for it. But it wasn't, so they didn't. That's nicely played away on the offside, but it's straight to a fielder. That'll just be a dot ball. Actually, if I was told, I'd got my coat. This one played away on the offside. Goes down to the fielder at third. Just slight misfield, but doesn't cost any runs. Pembroke get through for one. I should have something. I should have something in the car. I know I've certainly got a woolly hat there. And Pippa Guy gets hold of one, and nothing is stopping that except a granite wall that's 200 years old. 4 more onto the total. 36 now, and we're in the 17th over. Is there enough time for Pippa Guy to reach half-century here in this Pembroke women's seconds against Rush? Goes to sweep that one, hits her on the pads, but well outside the leg stump. Not even an appeal. Put my hand on the bench. Oh, it's ridged. Pippa Guy. Just another single, square leg. This is a good over for Rush. Very good over. Score moves on to 92. There was that big fall from Pippa Guy. What a shot to behold. I have a feeling we may see that one again on a highlights reel. Niall, have you thought of your little 20-minute highlights video yet? Have you sort of picked out any plays that you thought, oh, that's going in? You have a far better memory for me for what happens in a game, and you go, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind that. So many of the current international Irish side we've seen come through this level. Pulled out onto the leg side, and it was more a hoik than a shot. It will just be a single. Becca O'Donoghue bowling it from the SMC end. I'm definitely getting Gordon a hoodie or something with coach written on it. Oh! And a Beale missing out there. Full toss to her. All she had to do was get back on ball. As we come close to the end of this first innings now, Pembroke looking to add to the total. That's going to be a no ball. Unfortunate for Rebecca. It's just because the temperature drops when the sun is covered, and that feels like it's going to rain. Oh, another one. Umpire deciding that neither of those deliveries posed any danger to the bat. And this time Anna Beale plays it through the gap on the offside. There's 2 fielders chasing after it. Will they get to it? No, they won't. 4 more runs for the total. 4 for Anna Beale. Super shot. I'm amazed. I found out last year her highest score is something like 38. Amazed it's that low. Has such potential. Look at that for a shot. That is not the shot of a player whose highest score is 38. Super shot from skipper Anna Beale. She now moves on to 20, and this is quite the partnership that these two have put together. Pippa Guy, Anna Beale. That's out. That's what that is. That's on your way, pal. Tell your story walking. Phil Blackley falling to Justin Doherty, LBW in the nets. Just plays that one away, and Pippa Guy calls her through. There's nobody at the stumps. And Annabelle just gets home safely. Another one onto the total, another one onto the total, another one for Annabelle. This one a short ball. It's hit way up in the air. The fielder comes in for the catch. It was falling to her feet. Unfortunate for Rachel Bolton. She did some wonderful fielding earlier on, but on this occasion the ball, well, it did her for length, got past her and ran away for four. Four more for Pembroke now, and they've passed the 100 mark. And with what I think is 18 overs gone, the score is now 104. 2 overs to go, and Pippa Guy is on 38. And her captain, 21. And a Bill will be facing the bowler of Aoife Beggs. In fact, to give you an update, Pippa Guy is on 42 and the score is 108 for 3. I was quite right about Annabelle's 21. 2 overs to go then. First thing that is on the mind of the skipper is to sweep. She might get a bit of a warning for running up and down the middle of the track there. But 2 runs onto the total. And Pembroke are starting to set an imposing target for this Rush side to chase down. They do have some fine players and some fine bats, though. Oh, that one didn't quite work out as anybody wanted it to. Except maybe the Pembroke players, who will relish the added run to their total. This one floated up a bit more, and again Annabelle sweeps. Square leg comes in, keeps it to a single. Score now Nelson. Slight change in the field. Caoimhe Bissett came down to Cow Corner. And the partnership is broken. Do we have a replay?
No. Because I told you, the replay machine was over here.
Okay. No replay today. Player Janice Walsh seeing off Pippa Guy. She goes for 42, and the score now 112 for 4. And just the 10 balls remaining in this innings. Well, the sun is shining through again. This is a strange evening. 1 minute it's freezing. Next minute sun's bursting through. Even the breeze seems to have dropped down a bit. Of course, from here we can't see the mountains. That used to be the great barometer of Pembroke. So, new bat comes out. And Alina's come out now. And Rush have brought in a deep slip. Just keep your eye on it, young lady. She'll watch it back. Beautifully played out in the offside. They call for the single. The run comes in. Direct hit has her in trouble, but it's not a direct hit. And she gets in and off the mark. This time Pippa Guy plays it down to third. Another single called, single taken. 1-1-4 now for 4. And we head into the final over. Well, this has been good from Pembroke. They have been scoring at a runner ball. And 120 looks like a very reasonable target now. 6 required to get to that. And they're bogging my oranges. Come down for a quiet net, and suddenly you've got Gavin Hoey bowling at you on Pooh Sharma. No wonder so few of the fifths are down here. Yeah, that's one probably best left for a while. So the final over of this innings, Pembroke have reached 1-1-4 for 4. It's been a fine innings by the Pembroke players. That is the least enthusiastic appeal I've heard this season. How's it? Well, played away again behind square on the offside. Pippa Guy picks up another single. Oh, sorry. Anna Beale picks up another single. Which changes the whole complexity of that shot. 4 balls remaining. They bring the field much closer for Anna Lynn. They may do that to their detriment. Nobody back on the fence. Wouldn't you love it to see her put one over the top now? Oh, no. It fooled up. Leg spinner came back, took middle. Wicket falls. They don't realise they're being listened to. I was wondering what was going on in my head. It sounded like 3 women having an argument. Three balls left in this innings. Next batter coming out. Let's see who recognises who it is first. Any guesses as to who this is? Georgina Beattie. Yeah, Georgia Beattie, Craig. It's great to see Gordon taking charge of junior nets. It's been run without any structure for far too long. That's well run. Just played out the leg side. Now the field spreads again. Tossed up for her. Pushed out just onto the leg side. Unable to get down and sweep that one, so just paddled it to leg instead. Picks up another single, and what a fine captain's knock this has been. Provided the partnership with Pippa Guy that really propelled this Pembroke innings to where it is now. 117. And that's all she wrote, which coincidentally, 117 for 4. It's the same number of runs as Ireland scored against the West Indies last night. So at this stage of the evening, we will take a short break. Thank you very much for joining us for that first innings, but do come back for what I'm sure will be, he says with hope in his heart, a thrilling conclusion or a dry conclusion. To those of you who are still with us, thank you very much. And those of you who have joined us, thank you very much. Quite a cool evening in Pembroke now. If you are coming down for a little watch of either the tag rugby, the junior nets, or even this game, don't forget to bring your phone and leave it on the YouTube channel. White ball to start. Kim Lee McDonald opening the bowling from the SMC end. So you'll see their logo in the top left of your screen. If you zoom in there, if you can, no doubt it will give you the SMC print website. This one's hit up to mid-on, where Gail Bowen does the fielding. Pippa Guy keeping wicket tonight after her heroics with the bat, 42 today. Well, hit for a single onto the offside. There's a great similarity between the bowling run-up of Kim Lee McDonald and our very own Irish international Orla Prendergast. I think it's the balance at the start. That's much better. Crashing into the pads. Yeah. If you do find yourself near the clubhouse, a cup of tea would be coffee for him. Generally, if you could find the pot that they made on Saturday and scrape it out, that would be Niall's coffee. Coffee on a stick. Another good delivery from... Nah, the milk's fine here.
If you can't be arsed, don't worry.
Milk's fine here. Rush heading off in pursuit of this 117. Same score as St Lucia, certainly not the same weather. Same breeze, perhaps. Nice delivery, well kept out. Rebecca O'Donoghue doing a fine job, keeping that one out. Big strides made with Rush Cricket Club the last couple of years. I saw they did up their bar. That one, slower delivery out of the side of the hand, attempted off cutter. Results in a single. And again, I can only apologise for there being no live scoring this evening, as I see the Beaties walking up the wall. Well wrapped up against the breeze, that's for sure. Shika Shukadhwa now coming on at the St John's end. Haven't seen too much of her play. It's more of a result of me not attending nets on a Monday evening. That plus the number of away games the women's teams have had to play so far this year. Good action. Peels for one going down the leg side. Gets a very quick no from the umpire. That's a good... Good bowling by Pembroke at the moment. 4 on the board now in this, the second over. That one well kept out. Rachel Bolton it is at the non-striker's end. It's in the air, hit down to mid-on. Fine piece of fielding. Chloe Duffy Mullen doing the fielding there at mid-on. Well, super over for Pembroke. Not too many runs coming from that one. And the score is now 5 off 2 overs. 118 is the target. Not quite a runner ball, but close enough. That's a good shot on the offside. It's fielded by Anna Beale. She gets it back in. Can't stop the single. Well, it's Wednesday evening. Work done for another day. You can see Noel just nudging that camera across. Nice shot out in the offside. There are 2 fielders there. Leslie Ring does the fielding in front of the bar. An appreciative crowd of tag rugbyers taking no notice of the athleticism on display in front of them. Leslie Ring, of course, wing forward with Old Belvedere Rugby Club. Beautifully played away behind square on the offside. It's being chased down by 3, and the youngest of the 3 is the one to get there. And it's a big arm, well capable. Super work from Chloe Duffy Mullen. CDM. Kimberly McDonald continuing now. Oh, this one's a bit high. Full toss, and it's played away. It's signalled as a no ball. Goes around to mid-wicket. They go for 1. They look for the second, but there will be no second. So, no ball. Just letting go of the ball just a little early there. Well, there's a seagull in the background. I can only assume it's Sammy. Well, what an inconsiderate seagull that is. Right behind the bowler's arm. Well, that's hit away on the offside, but no single results. Just, there he is. Bowler's brass is our Sammy. I'm not sure that is Sammy. One advancement we've made now in our broadcast is you may have noticed that this camera is set a little higher now, giving you a very good view of the wicket and what's going on. That one's played out to the boundary. Beautifully fielded. As Rush go about their pursuit of 117 that Pembroke scored. Pembroke did it for the loss of 4 wickets. One feels that Pembroke are going to have to take more than 4 here. Kim Lee getting that one to come back and pass the bat. End of the over. 12 off 3. 4 and over at the moment. Well, Pembroke will be the happier of the two teams right now. But these two bats, well, they've seen 3 overs now. They've played themselves in. They haven't looked in any trouble. Who knows how this game is going to turn out? What a great thing about cricket. You just don't know. Sometimes it can be because the game is so engrossing or tight. And other times because, well, the heart rules the head. It's the adapter. That's a nice shot out. And it's completely misfielded. And it makes it all the way to the boundary. Of course, it could be that it's the headphone jack itself. Again, played out on the offside, but this time the fielder makes sure. No, it's obviously the headphone jack. Good ball, getting that one come back in on the stumps, but it's nicely played away. Well fielded, but they can't prevent the single. And the score, well, it's being accumulated at the moment. Slow and steady wins the race, but does it? We'll find out as the innings goes on. And Sheikha, well, she's bowling exceptionally well. Haven't seen her bowl before. She's got a lovely action. Good run up. Arm comes over nice and straight. I feel she's only going to get better as time goes on. It's high in the air. The keeper's not going to get that. Neither's anybody else. It falls between them. And a single is taken. But that's the first chance. First chance made. Breeze starting to pick up again. You can hear the rustling of trees in the background. The very trees that keep us warm from those sea breezes on a Saturday afternoon. So, Rachel Bolton now to face Kimberly McDonald in this, the 5th over. Well, that one's cut away. They look for 2. And there isn't 2 there, and that is absolutely suicidal. They called 2 early, but they didn't check for the second, and what a great piece of fielding. Well, that's the sort of fielding that JJ Garth would be especially proud of. Run out, running on a misfield, trying to run 2, and very early on in the second, they realised, well, they had crossed, but they realised that one of them wasn't going to make it. And that was the case, and that's the first wicket down, and Rachel Bolton, she departs. 20 for 1 then in this, the 5th over. We have lids.
Yes, you do.
My goodness, that's the first time I remember. The first time I remember us having lids that
Lids
fit.
that fit.
Lids that fit.
Which is always a bonus.
Now, Niall, can you see a number on her back? Number 10. Georgina Atkinson has come in at number 3.
How is she?
There was I'd like to say a terrible mix-up, but there was no mix-up at all. There was a misfield down here
Right.
to Chloe, I think.
Their hands to it, slowed down a lot. They decided to run
Alright.
second.
Oh.
They called 2 as soon as they started running, and then never stopped to check. And just as they were passing each other, you could see the look on the bat's face going, I'm not going to make this. Always a difficult one when you're running away from the pavilion. If you're running to the pavilion,
Please be won by horror throws.
Yes,
Please be won
yes.
by horror throws.
But it's just a way of them putting pressure on the batsman or on the fielder,
absolutely.
you know, to misfield.
They ran on a misfield, and it cost them the wicket. Good ball. Just played out in the offside. That will be a dot. Great to see 2 fielders there converging on that.
That's Chloe there.
So,
I think that's Jess there.
okay.
They're both playing.
Well, at least I got the surname right.
You did. Both of them.
Atkinson again playing one up on the offside. Well, played out to the Leslie Ring, out the boundary. Just for a single, and that will suit Pembroke at the moment. Over up. 5 gone, 21 on the board. That run rate just above 4 at the moment. Here comes the scoreboard. You can see it all. And you can see my hat shivering with the cold. Right. Unsurprisingly, no change at the St John's end. Vanshika Shukal. Well, I think that's the right thing to do. Get Georgia Atkinson off strike. Rebecca O'Donoghue. Rush actually run a very good programme with a very right sort of spirit behind it. Nicely played away on the offside. It's through the gap. The gap is closed and the ball is fetched. I remember we played them a couple of years ago and they had such an exceptionally young team. This is still a young team, but you can see how they're developing and they're coming on, and it's great to see. This one goes across. Georgia Atkinson, unable to lay a bat on it. Score moves on to 23 now. In this, the 6 over. That's a lovely delivery. Super line, super length. And my goodness, Rebecca O'Donoghue making a despairing dive to good value. She got back as the bowler didn't let go of the ball. Nicely played away with soft hands, bringing it in, the fielder in onto it. How did it go? Excellent.
Saturday, 2 T20s.
And seeing the country as well.
Yeah, going to Kilkenny.
One in the air on the offside. Well, again, into a vacant area. But it is the end of the over. That's 6 gone. That's the end of the power play. I wonder which umpire is going to signal that. Good evening, Noel Goff. Little windswept as he comes down the wall. So after 6 overs, the score is 25. 4 runs coming off that last over.
Guaranteed to bring the sun out now.
See the way Sahil puts his hands on his pocket so he doesn't make any noise going through. It's all those gold coins, that's what that is. So yes, it's all been happening in the cricket world. Ireland finishing 7th in the World Cup qualifiers. The women still out in the West Indies. Georgia Beattie, and she induces another shot into the air, and at the moment the Rush bats are finding the vacant bits of turf. Each time they've gone aerial. Georgia Beattie now, well, she's bowling from the SMC end. One of 5 players on this team, underage. Again, points to a bright future for Pembroke. Now, that having been said, I don't think Anna Beale and Pippa Guy, the McDonalds, really count as big experienced players, but they are over 18. You might see them in the bar during the summer. But as for the others, Georgia Beattie, Chloe and Jessica Duffy-Mullin, and Shikha, Shukla and Susie Whaley. Pembroke have their own youth policy that's churning out very good cricketers. A lot of work put in. Certainly Claire Shillington. And of course, you can't really forget the captain. Anna Beale been doing the job through COVID and now out the far side. And there we go, fine wicket. That ball just coming back through the gap. And that's the end of Rebecca O'Donoghue. And she goes for 15. Fine little knock for her. She did well. Got a side off to the start. Got a side through the power play. But on this occasion, she's succumbed. Bowled. Georgia Beattie picks up another wicket.
Someone would have been there. Someone was sitting there when that camera got messed up by them. No. Not even bad.
Not even bad replays, which means Noel's going to have to go through this entire game to pick out stuff for the awards night. At least I hope he does. That video from last year's awards night, of course, still available on the Pembroke Live YouTube channel. If you want a quick summary of 2022, or at least the Pembroke cricket part of 2022.
At least the later half of Pembroke cricket.
Anna's gonna
Change of bowling at the St John's end. Anna Beale bats left-handed, bowls like this. Single off her first ball. Aoife Beggs now facing Anna Beale. That is well bowled, fielded at point. Again, Anna Beale getting that swing, I suppose, for want of a better word. A lot of it coming from, if you watch her arm as it comes over, right over the top of her head. And she's taken the wicket. Well, once again, if there's one thing about Anna Beale, she's going to have to calm down on the celebration. It's almost taunting. She's running down the pit. No, she's not. She's just walked down and accepted a few high fives as if it's an everyday event. Bit of chat in the circle now. I'm sure about people's shoelaces. Oh, look, 2 down. Everyone else checking. Well, that's a super start for Pembroke. 2 wickets, 3 wickets down now, 28 on the board. And that total of 117 starting to look quite imposing. Another 90 runs required in 13 overs. Well, it's not impossible. And we have seen that sort of thing before. Leslie Ring actually got a suspension last year in rugby. 3 match, I think it was it? 3 or 1? Well, we won't hold that against her. She hasn't been up for any disciplinary on the cricket side of things. Well, we need the number off the back. Once we get the number, we're fine. Anna Beale staying over the wicket here now to the left-hander. Makes no difference to her. She bowls stump to stump. It's played away. Nice fielding. Well, there were some appeals out there. I'm not entirely sure what for. One can only guess they were over-enthusiastic LBW. Well, a fine over for Pembroke. Not so much for Rush. 28 for 3. Jane Butterley it is who's come in now. She'll be at the non-striker's end. And Georgia Atkinson, of course, will be facing the bowling of Georgia Beattie. She goes full on the first one. It's hoiked out to the square leg boundary, but good fielding out there keeps it just to a single. Yes, Venshika will be playing first very soon. Well, that would be very soon. It does for us.
Complete cheat sheet. Scorers and captains.
Anything that makes the game clearer, in my view, is a good thing. Good night, sir. Oh, that's nicely played. Oh, but superbly caught. Susie Whaley with a fine, fine catch. Well, I thought that had been played with soft hands. As it was, it just jumped up, and Susie Whaley taking a couple of paces in and having to take it somewhere around her knees. Never the easiest catch to take, but she was safe as houses, and that's the 4th wicket down, and this is going very well for the Pembroke ladies now. Showing my own age there. Pembroke women, of course. Keep an eye out for the number. Well, this is fabulous stuff from the women's seconds. No catches put down yet. There he is. Centurion at the weekend. Down to nets. Oh, the wicketkeeper. Eileen Foley. She hits her first one past the diving Leslie Ring. Well, that was some dive. I hope you caught that one. Just sent the wrong way by the spin, I think. Well, 4 onto the board, a much needed 4 for Rush. They've now gone up to 38. 33. Have to learn how to read a scoreboard. So, 33 after a shot from number 3. Plenty of air down the leg side. So, Centurion Rafe, are you playing at the weekend? Excellent. 2 more chances. Do it again, mate. And talking about heroes of the sixes, captain in the previous game, Connor Crowley, he's at nets tonight. Oh, my goodness, that was a firmly hit shot. That's run all the way down to the car park, into the car park and down a couple of lanes of cars. Fine shot. Eileen Foley off the mark, and how? Well, this could be exactly what Rush are looking for. Anna Bill making some changes to the field. Jessica Duffy Mullen. She was in the imaginary circle earlier. She's dropped all the way down to the fence now. This one played nicely out in the offside. Yeah. I'd be more worried about the microphones than I would the cameras. Nice shot, sir. Net still continuing. This one comes off the pad. That's the over up. 7, 8, 9 gone now. Yep, 9 gone, 38 on the board. And it looks like these two are going to have to go big and go soon if they're going to have any chance of chasing down the 118 they need. Anna Beale, of course, taken 2 wickets so far today. She continues from the St John's end. Super delivery, good fielding. But again, they get through. Single taken. Now Eileen Foley, she's already caused changes in the field, and Anna Beale hasn't bowled to her yet. She's moved Gail Bowen down to the light pole at Cons Nook. And that's the reason why it's immediately clipped round that way, but it'll be Pippa Guy who picks it up. Big difference between being in the nets and being in the middle. Nicely bowled. Dot ball. So what I always forget to do is take those off before I step away from the table, and then you find half your head being pulled off. And a Beale in again. This one goes right across Georgia Atkinson. She tried to just nudge it round the corner. Pippa Guy did a good job getting down there for that. Evening, Ethan. Good. Well, it was full toss. The bat was swung at it. It came off the shoulder of the bat, and it's run down, and there could be another run out here. This is very close, but she just manages to get home, Eileen Foley. 2 more, end of the over. 43 now, off 10. And they really are going to have to start motoring if they're going to chase down 117. At this stage, Pembroke can concentrate very much on preventing runs, and then the wickets will come. So the run rate required now, 7.5. 75 from 10 overs. This one's another full toss. It's pulled out to cow corner. Nothing's going to stop that. That's a boundary, and that's exactly what Rush need. Cometh the hour, cometh the Georgina Atkinson. Well, she was onto that full toss very quickly, lifted it down to where the covers are, and it's gone through the covers and out the far side. Super delivery, super boundary. Marvellous cricket, that. Well, Georgia Beattie, what will her relay be now? Shouldn't they be the other way around? I think now suggesting perhaps that the second one needs. Another one that's on the full, another one pulled out to the leg side, another boundary. And Georgia Beattie, well, she's got to use the mat. Successive boundaries for Rush. We needed 7.5 and over, and they already have 8 off the first 2 deliveries. It's very clear the immense respect that Anna Beale has from her team. Changing the field. Fielder going out to cow corner. This one just played away exactly where the fielder had been taken from. What a super throw. Good bit of fielding. Well done, Gordon. Another great session. And do you know what I've noticed? The better players are coming back to nets because of it. Like the third team are more coming in, and the second, the fourths are coming in, whereas it used to be just the fifths would come down for a bit of a knock around.
What we're trying to do there in the early parts to give them a situation in the game and adapt the situation. So the last 6 overs, defend a target. And well, so when we get to a match in 2 weeks' time, we did this 2 weeks ago. And it's close, and they slow ball, and they Yorker, and they wide Yorker, whatever it might be.
Yep.
But to train it, do the training and put it in the game. That's the idea.
Focus.
Yeah.
Evening, Justin. Better hurry up, Eli, otherwise you're walking home. Well done at the weekend, mate.
Thank you.
Eli Clark, just a week or 2 behind his brother and getting his adult first 100. Rafe Duncan also got his. This one now, Eileen Foley plays away. Leslie Ring on the boundary. Very little gets through Leslie down there. Into the 11th. Well, that's the 11th over done now. 51 is the score. .67 off 9. What a good crowd down in Pembroke today. Making the most of these long summer evenings. I would prefer it if there were long, warm summer evenings, but that's not to be this evening. Enough cloud cover to keep the sun hidden. Well, that's well played. Well bowled. These two starting to put together a good partnership now. Oh, that's got to be close. Given short shrift by the umpire. Judging to have hit her outside the line. Big hit from Atkinson. She's found cow corner to her liking there. 4 more onto the total. The bowler stands there with the teapot out. Although I have to back that up by saying of all the people who use the teapot, Anna Beals is the least offensive. Few changes made in the field now. Fielder goes back to cow corner. Anna Bill not afraid to change things. Nighty night, Gordy. This one causing Atkinson to go square to the ball to try and play it away down to the bar. Unsuccessful on this occasion. Well, the sun is doing its best to poke through now. Starting to see shadows on the pitch. Played away on the leg side, and it's going to reach the boundary again, and this is proving to be another good over for Rush. These two really starting to motor now. 65 for 4 in this, the 12th over. 52 required. They really are bringing down that rate. Remember, at 10 overs, we said that rate was 7.5. And since then, the boundaries have started flowing from both Foley and Atkinson. And a Bill into bowl now. Another one pulled away to the leg side. Leslie Ring with an absolute fabulous dive. Got a hand to it, but as she landed, it jarred the ball loose and it ran over the fence for another boundary. And that is a super over for Rush. And Anna Bill has some thinking to do here, what she's going to do. 50 required off 48 now. Bicycle repair shop's over there, mate. Your chain is off at the back. It's off the bottom one. You may have to loosen the back wheel. Oh, that one's played away quite nicely, but on this occasion now, Anna Beal in setting the field has a fielder there and a fielder with an arm. Super work. No, you need to turn it the other way around, mate. Nearly. See you soon, Bruce. You might be better off going out the other gate. Well, Pembroke's starting to feel that they need a wicket. In just 2 overs, they've put on 25 runs. And that's beautifully played away on the offside, and that's 4 more runs. And the urgency for Pembroke to take a wicket gets stronger with every one of these boundaries. Well, 73 now, and suddenly the finish line is an awful lot closer. See you soon. People slowly filing their way away from nets. Another one played out in the offside, and this time Leslie Ring gets her body behind it. They think of a second, but that would be most unwise. They've already had 1 run out. Remember, the first wicket fell to a run out. Well, they won't want any more. Not when things are going so well for them at the moment. Just 50 required off 8 overs. And even that's come down to 44 now. This one's in the air. There's 2 fielders there. It lands in front of both of them, and they get through for the single. Was that the chance that Pembroke needed to take? This one just a bit too full. Played out in the full to mid-wicket. Nicely fielded. And that's... See the field changing now for the left-hander. This one is pulled away. Again, Leslie Ring protecting that fence. Single means changing the field again, but it's the end of the over. So everybody changes. .42 required now from 42. This game has become a lot tighter than Pembroke wanted. As well as the players, of course. One has to recognise that the scorers and the umpires giving up of their time freely for this. As is Niall. Me, I'm charging a fortune. Change of bowling now at St John's End. Anna Bill has taken herself off. Gone back to the opening bowler. It's a no ball to start with, and at the moment it's racing away to the boundary, although Anna Lynn does fine piece of fielding, saves 2 runs. And suddenly you'd have to say Russia favourites in this game. The swingometer, WinViz, call it what you want. This one's down the leg side. Gets away with that one a bit. Score's moved on to 80 now. 38 required. That's a nice shot. She dug that out well. Chloe doing good work. Duffy Mullin doing great work, backing up her colleague, and she was needed on that occasion. Run saved, and that's the value of backing up. Eileen Foley again swings that one round to the leg side, square leg, where Anna Bill picks it up, flings it in, and it will just be a single. Score has moved on to 81. I'm sure Niall will update the graphics at the end of the over. Taken on the full by Atkinson, hit round to the boundary, and it goes for 4. The fielder put a hand down, nothing behind it, and as a result, it ran away for 4. And WinViz moves another click closer to the rush side. Another big shot, this time on the offside, and it's going to run away to the boundary again, and this game is being taken away from Pembroke. Georgia Atkinson is doing a fabulous job, and she's found great support from Eileen Foley. The two of them have put on a lot of runs now. They're up to 89. And suddenly that finish line looks very close. And what are Pembroke going to do? They seem to be short 2 or 3 fielders at the moment because, well, the Rush Bats are finding the fence with regularity. And that, of course, opens up the gaps inside. Single taken. And that's the end of the 14th over. And with 6 overs to go, well, 28 will see them home. This has been a perfectly timed chase. Georgia Atkinson, well, she's in the middle of this, and she's now on 46. Just 4 away from her half-century. Another change of bowling now. Change of bowling now at the SMC end. Susie Whaley coming on. SMC Print and Design for all your printing and designing needs. $90 for 4 off 14. Susie Whaley enters the fray. Well, that one is hit straight back past her and runs away for 4. And that's a half-century, and deservedly so. You can hear the applause from the Rush bench, as well as the darts racing forward to Sandymount Station. 50 then for Atkinson, and there's no doubt that she has been the star of this Rush innings. But let's not discount the part that has been played by Eileen Foley, providing great support. She's on 17 herself. And this one played away on the offside. Leslie Ring, again, doing fabulous work out there. There's Sammy. Sammy the Seagull, he's down at, well, wide leg, I'd say. Well, that one isn't to him anyway. It's 4, straight through the gap up at the top, onto the Tar Macadam of Cyril's Way. 4 more onto the total, and Foley really is playing a super part in this partnership. She's moved on to 21, the score's moved up to 99, and just 19 runs required now. Another one pulled away to the leg side. Another one finds the boundary. And that's the 100 up for Rush. $103 now, just 15 more required. Do those flash up on the broadcast then as well, if they're flashing up on this screen? They go for the quick single and they get it. And it looks like this isn't to be Pembroke's night. Well, they had Rush in all sorts of trouble, 43 for 4. And even then there'd been a bit of a partnership. Without live scoring, I can't tell you when the wicket fell, but these two have certainly put on over 50 now. It's pulled out big between the two fielders, runs away under the covers. And that's the end of, well, Susie Whaley's over. She's had the exceptional bad luck to run into Georgia Atkinson and Eileen Foley when A, they're chasing down a big total, and B, they're well set. 55 now for Atkinson. Her partner on 26 and the score 108. Just 10 runs required now, 5 overs to go. And the captain is going to bring herself back on. She went back to her opening bowlers. It didn't work out for her. Is there to be a twist in the tail of this game? Well, a bit like last night, except Rush aren't losing wickets the same way the West Indies did. Anna Beale from the St John's End. This one goes straight through Pippa Guy. It's run past her. They're going to pick up 2. And it looks like we're going to beat the rain, because it looks like the rain is coming. It's not going to come in time to save Pembroke. Just 8 more runs required now. We'd like to thank those down with the scorers and the operators of the scorebooks. Without their information, well, we'd have been as lost as Nemo. Oh, and Anna Beale breaks through. That's the end of Foley. That's the end of the partnership. Maybe there is a twist in the tail here. We've yet to see, but that's a fabulous partnership for Rush. They must have put on, well over 60 anyway. Well, that's fabulous stuff for them, and Pembroke would have wished that they'd taken that wicket about 8 or 9 overs ago. New bat comes out to the middle. It's amazing how white pads stand out, isn't it? Everyone's in coloured clothing. Or edged away through the slip region. I say region, it's an unpopulated region. And 2 runs picked up. Mabel O'Donoghue. Beautifully played shot, just opened up the face of the bat, let it run off down through that vacant slip area. Picked up 2 runs, back on strike. Another one just played out in the offside and very technically correct. Mabel O'Donoghue. And that's just what Gemma Atkinson would have wanted to see come out. Georgia Atkinson wanted to come out and see. Another partner with which she can find the finish line. Another good, solid front foot out. Straight bat. Mentioned earlier the good work that's going on in Rush at the moment with coaching and recruitment and the such like. This team, I think, has been together for a while now. And they're getting better together and getting better as a team. Nicely played. That one rose a bit. Mabel O'Donoghue just getting her hands, soft hands, playing it down to the ground. That's another over gone. 4 overs to get 6 runs now. And it will be Gemma Atkinson on strike. Wait for the next bit of text to appear on the top of your screen. That will tell you the score after 16 overs. With no live scoring, this is the best we can do. Georgia Beattie continuing from the SMC end. Atkinson plays it out in the offside, picks up the single. She knows there's no rush. Oh, they're going to take an overthrow. And they'll be safe as well. So that's 2 more onto the total. It keeps Atkinson on strike. And it means they're just 1 shot away now. You might want to go to the other camera now. Gentlemen. Oh, it's a reverse sweep. Hoik, we'll call it what you want. 4 runs to the boundary, and that is enough. That's the game. Rush have won by 5 wickets. Well, that was a super shot to end the game anyway. Well worthy. She got 61. She was the backbone of that Rush reply. And that's the game. Well, thank you very much for joining us here today on the Pembroke Live channel on YouTube. If you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Subscribing doesn't mean you get 7 million emails, but you do get notifications of when we're covering games. So you can keep an ear out, or you can mute those notifications and just join us when you want to. Anyway, as the teams congratulate each other, commiserate with each other, all smiles all round. We'll take our leave of you and say good night and farewell. I know for a fact Niall has no replays to show you tonight. And isn't it fitting that Sammy the Seagull takes his last bow and walks across the screen? Well, a super game of cricket. Finally, we got a game in. And now we're going to go because the rain is coming and we want to get out of here ASAP. Thanks for joining us. Join us again. Our next broadcast is Saturday, when Pembroke Fifths will be in action. So join us there, or don't. Good night.